my fellow Aeternians. As always, it's me, Emperor AP. Today, I wanted to talk to you about what we've been doing at Vitae. Over the last, basically 2 years now, we have had, well, year and a half, 2 years, getting on 2 years now, we've had Vitae. And we have been slowly developing this completely barren, I say barren, completely undeveloped plot of land, this piece that is just forest, essentially, into what will become our capital. Now, this has not been an easy task, and we haven't gotten it to the point that we'd like it. That being said, we have made an incredible amount of stories from doing this and just, learning from experience, making mistakes, trial and error. And so I wanted to talk a little bit today about what we've been doing recently and kind of tell you guys some of those stories that I've been excited to share but haven't had a time to make a full-out video on. First off, Republic of Aeternia says our capital is Lausanne City. Very cool. Good to see you, Aeternia. Let me ask you this. How did you develop Lausanne City? Is it something that's already been developed, and you just made it a part of your nation? Is it something that you have tried to develop and build yourself? Because that's kind of the route we're going for, and we would definitely appreciate some advice. Alice, Republic of Noblestan. Hey, Noblestan, good to see you. They said we probably won't be here for long. That's okay. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you hanging out. Also, guys, thanks for liking the video. It means a lot, and it helps to share it out to more people who want to follow along on what our micronation is doing. So, to get back to it, most recently, as of last weekend, I went out to Vitae kind of on a solo scouting mission to see what we could do as far as developing our garden this year. Now, we have been trying to slowly but surely promote the Garden of Nations. You okay? Hey, yes, please. I would appreciate it. Tiffany is going to bring back a surprise for later in the stream. But as I was saying, I went out to try to figure out how to get our garden started. So my main goals for last weekend were to try and get out there and actually dig out a large section for tilling to actually plant our plot. So that was going to be the first setup, was just to till a large area, dig it up, mix it around, and get that ready for planting. Now, at the same time, over the last couple weeks, 3 weeks just about, Tiffany and I have been starting to grow seedlings. We have these seedling trays, we have some lights, and we have been slowly growing and developing cucumbers, tomatoes, onions, garlic, carrots, a whole bunch of stuff, bell peppers, hot peppers, whole bunch of different stuff, dill. In doing all of this, we have been needing to plant these out at Vitae. They're getting large enough where we need to start moving them and having them in more natural sunlight and getting them acclimated to the place that they're going to stay until harvest. So that being the case, that's what I did last weekend. I have a bunch of crazy stories to go through over the stream with that. But that being the case, I did that. I was able to put those plants out there. We had a little over 30 plants that we planted, all in total. 1 second, Tiff. I'm excited to share that, but I want to get to a specific point. So anyway, I went out there, planted all that, ended up having to do it a lot of it at night because I got up late, ended up starting late. And once you start tilling, you just have to continue going. So after that, planted them, got that out that weekend. This weekend, there ended up being a big event where a local nonprofit was giving out tomato plants and cucumber plants that are already significantly grown and developed. And we were fortunate enough to get a number of those. So we have one here, a large and beautiful tomato plant that we will be adding to Vitae come tomorrow. So in addition to the plants that we planted out last weekend that are babies and just starting to grow, this is a development that you guys are seeing here for the first time on our channel, which will be the start of our garden. These will probably be almost certainly the first harvest that we get, and so that will be incredibly exciting. Something to kind of jumpstart us, as last year we tried to start a garden, didn't put much effort into it at all because of how far away Vitae is for us, and so it took us a long time to get out there and to try and get things started last year. And when we did, we just didn't have the resources to take care of and maintain the garden. this year we're trying to develop the Garden of Nations as something not only for us and for Aeternia and its people, but also for the rest of the micronational community, getting people involved so that we all have access to fresh vegetables, and we can send out things for canning, as well, just to show kind of pride in micronationalism, right? People can have their flags in the garden, and we can kind of show off what we're able to do as a community. So that being the case, we've been trying to get this started this year, and this is our big push for it. Starting out one with, as luck would have it, some incredible plants that have been given to us by our local U.S. community here. And then as well, we are going to be taking those, planting them out, starting to grow them alongside seeds that we have developed into seedlings and sprouted in Aeternia as well. So that combination strategy should give us the best chance for success this year. Didn't cost us very much money. It cost us the initial stuff for the seeds and the actual trays and things like that we had to purchase. But other than that, the mature plants that we got, the things that are going to give us the most success, more than likely this year, were given to us completely for free this weekend. So, yeah, absolutely. What's up? Ooh, okay. 1 second, everybody.
I feel it. Like I tried to get, yeah.
Sorry. There you go.
Thank you. I kept feeling it pull, and I was like, "What's happening?"
Yes. Oh goodness. You okay?
Yeah.
Let me see. Okay. You're good. Okay. Tiff's in here. Hey. Tiff has been having to be careful this weekend as well. We went today, in addition to going and get all those cool plants, we went to go try and skate at a park next door, and Tiffany ended up busting her chin. We had to go get stitches. That's where we've been most of the day. So Tiff has been needing rest. Got your cool bracelet on still.
Oh, bracelet.
Yeah. I was gonna say I wouldn't show all the information.
I didn't.
Yeah.
That's why I covered it and make sure it was a different way.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to dox myself.
Fair. But that has been primarily what we've been up to this weekend. Again, kind of a big push. Hey, we're posing. Okay, so multiple things. Thank you everybody for being here. Thank you guys for the likes. Let's see. So, and Lauricia says, Lausanne is the second largest city. Patronesia is one of my biggest allies. Their capital is another thing. And then they said, Rochesteria. Is that your national plant? It is not our national plant. It is a plant that will be going in our garden, though, like I said. The Garden of Nations, this will be probably one of our first plants to be harvested. So as long as they all survive and do well, you should see that plant right there bear us some tomatoes this year.
Is it many nations, or is that a typo and it's supposed to be many nations?
That's a great question. And Larissa said, our president, Mark Robeline, is sick and has health issues. Oh, goodness. Please give my best wishes of health and happiness to President Mark.
Calling it mini nations makes it sound like mini.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's multiple rather than multiple,
yeah,
small.
But it's spelled mini, like tiny. Yeah, I get you. He's saying that their president has health issues. I hope your president is doing okay. Said they won't be able to go to the United Mini Nations Conference.
Look at that carpenter bee.
Mm-hmm. We do have some nice flora and fauna going on over here, helping the natural environment. It's cool to see them coming out in the spring. But yeah, I hope the conference goes well, despite that leader's inability to attend. I hope they have the best rest and recovery that they can, and they're able to get back to their constituents very soon. Aaron said, good evening, Imperial family. Good evening, Aaron. I hope you're doing well. I hope you and the Whichway family are having a wonderful Friday afternoon in the springtime. Starting to finally get springtime. The U.S. had a big cold front come through and kind of rainy last few days. So that was actually unfortunate dealing with our planting. Like I said, this past weekend we went out and I just kind of by myself went and tilled and tried to dig up a plot for us to plant these 31 little sprouts that we had gotten, these little seedlings that we had started growing for the garden. So they just needed to go out, went out, did it. I also was able to bring out a large, I'd say like 55-gallon barrel, maybe a little smaller, maybe like a 22-gallon barrel, out to Vitae, and was able to set it out there so that in addition to having that plot tilled, having those plants planted in there, that we would be able to supply them with additional water. Again, I kind of was looking ahead a little bit. We knew it was going to rain some this week, thanks to Tiffany actually keeping me up to date on that and keeping me square. But that being the case, we didn't actually set up our watering system, but that was something that I talked about last week on a live stream, that I really, really wanted to try and get an automatic watering system done. And I want to give you guys some more updates on that coming up soon, hopefully show you the mechanism working. But I thought I was going to be able to get it its first trial run, setting it up last weekend and getting it to work and start functioning this week. Fortunately, we had rain, so we didn't need to install it. Secondly, we were having some technical issues. What's up?
I spelled it right the first time, and then it auto-corrected it for Vitae, and then it auto-corrected it, and then I went, wait, how do I spell Vitae again?
Vitae.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just didn't like it.
Yeah, it's weird. Latin words. But thanks, Phil. That being the case, our development of Vitae has been this thing that, you know, has been kind of hinged on us getting out to Vitae, actually building our dwelling, which we're in the middle of doing, and trying to get as many resources out there to make the land as livable as possible. So even if we get a building built out there, that's great. We still need electricity, water, food, etc. So this is one of those check marks for us, trying to start that garden. Had to get the initial stuff set up last weekend. We ended up doing it. Didn't get as much as we wanted done. Like I said, we didn't get the automatic watering system set up like we wanted to, but that's something we're going to be doing troubleshooting on and getting back to this week. So hopefully tomorrow I will be running out the plants that we got just today from the event that we went to. Like I said, pretty large cucumber and tomato plants. So we'll have those in addition to the rest of the seedlings that we've been growing. Hopefully a good bit of those seedlings have survived. And then next weekend, whenever I go back out, hopefully I'll be able to install that automatic watering system and also be able to start doing some smaller adjustments to Vitae. Of course, we're going to be jumping back as hard as we can into developing the dwelling, our first dwelling, as well as fixing up the RV to be moved out there. But one of the things that has kind of surprised me as we've been going on is just how little infrastructure Vitae has, in the sense that, of course, we know it doesn't have a building, it doesn't have shelter for people. And that's the foundation of having infrastructure out in a place is a way to make it livable for people. But even before that, you know, even before thinking of that, there are simpler things to be checked off the list. One, for example, sources of lighting, very important. I was out there, like I said, this past weekend, and I started late, got out to Vitae. By the time I got finished tilling our plot and setting, before I even started setting the plants out, once I got to tilling the plot, it was dark pretty much. You know, when I started on the first few plants, and we had, I think, 31 plants, when I started doing it, I realized it was basically completely dark. So I did the first couple plants. It was almost completely dark. Called Tiff. Well, Tiff called me. We talked for a little bit, and then I said, okay, I need to kind of hurry up and get through this. So I ended up taking my shovel, kind of digging a quick hole, setting we have them in these little biodegradable pots, setting the pots in, putting it, and then moving on as quickly as possible, trying to get these plants in the ground. The biggest issue with that has been actually that we have just, again, no visibility out there. So not only do we not have electricity, but we're in a very wooded area. So it's not like, you know, you're out in the middle of a field at night where you may have a lot of moonlight, or, you know, that we have neighbors that, you know, were in an open yard, so their lights can really pour in. Being in the middle of kind of this wooded area at night is very difficult to work in. I was having to hold my phone flashlight out. Okay, hold on. Oh, hey, thanks, Tiff. Tiff's giving us little hearts in the chat. Thank you guys. I appreciate you, Tiff. If you guys end up enjoying the video, definitely like it. Tiff's doing great support over here as it is. So thank you for the party hats.
I didn't click them.
Oh, other people clicking the party hat. Hey, everybody's hitting it up. Appreciate you guys. Thank y'all. I do want to answer everybody's comments. I want to get through this story real fast. So in doing all that, everybody's blowing it up. Oh my goodness. I appreciate you guys celebrating. Hey, let's go. Oh man, y'all distracted me from the story. Anyway, so I get out there. No, you're fine. I appreciate you.
I get everyone hyped in the chat.
Tiffany starts to party in the chat.
I started the $1 donation, and then everyone wanted to jump it, and then we like
boosting it.
Yeah, you got a total of $15 at the end of it.
Yeah, it was crazy. You were killing it. I appreciate you, bud. Tiff's about that. Tiff's about that. Getting the party started. Tiff's the team leader out here. Back to Vitae. Back to the Vitae story. So we end up. I end up out there digging these plots. Digging the places to put the seedlings. I dig a quick hole, throw it in, cover it with a little bit of dirt, do all that. Then I have to water. We have this container that can pressurize the water and kind of just spritz it onto your plants. And so I ended up having that, pouring all that. And then we had brought a few like 1 gallon containers, not very much at all, 1 to 2 gallon containers in the car, so that once I got there, I was able to take those containers out and try to fill up the big 22 gallon barrel that we have out there for water storage. But it was it wasn't the middle of the night. It was 9 o'clock at night at that point. So once I finished planting, hiked everything that I could back up the hill, then tried to come back down to try and find that barrel so that I could pour water into there, thinking that, you know, just maybe starting to build up that reserve now would allow us, again, maybe even not this week, because this week we're apparently supposed to get a little more rain, but the following week, we will need to start activating some kind of regular watering system out there. And since it's just so far away, we need something automated. So we're going to be having that go forward. You're silly. Is that you? You're silly. I appreciate you. Tiff out here with the compliments. Tiff's on the Freeing Truth account saying you have a nice smile. Thank you, Tiff. I appreciate you. Anyway, end up with that. End up running, like, not literally running, like trying to hurry back down the hill. Pitch black dark, can't see anything. Trying to find this 33 gallon barrel, 22 gallon barrel, start filling up with these like single gallon containers. We had like a milk container, and I had like a cat litter container filled with water, of course cleaned out prior, but filled up with water, and then trying to bring those down in the middle of the, you know, pitch black darkness was no fun. So one of the things that made me realize we absolutely need lighting out there. Now, of course, we are bringing our small battery out there to run our automatic watering system. So we're going to start building up our electrical resources out there, our actual power storage resources out there. But in the meantime, there are things that, while somebody is out there, you know, these aren't things that can just be left alone to their own devices. But while people are out there, while the land has observation, we can have some things set up that would be quite convenient for lighting. One of those things, which we've already been halfway in the process of making without realizing it, would be candles of some sort. So we have been working with Vitae clay, as the Empire of Draconia coined it, Vitaeum. So this Vitaeum that we've been working with, our special clay out at Vitae, we're going to be trying to start making into our own little candles. So that way we can fill them with oil, put a wick in them, and have them actually light a path there in Vitae. Now, that'll mean a few things. One, that we need to start creating little walkways and things out in Vitae. Again, just to help with general foot traffic, to be able to allow us to start accessing the land at night and using it more frequently at different hours of the day. It just expands the amount of resources we have, the ability that we have to go out there, and also the comfort level of others trying to go out to Vitae. When I go out to Vitae, now that we have the driveway especially, it's not too difficult. I can park, I can get out, I'm walking into the forest, but after that, it's not too bad. It's not too difficult to kind of meander your way over to where we're working, start working, and then just walk everything up and down as you go. But that being the case, I was talking to Jet and Ashley, some of our good friends in town, and asking them if they wanted to come along to Vitae. And one of the biggest things that they brought up was, well, we would like to, but we really want to go when there's some kind of activity going on, when there's like an event to go to hang out, because and this makes a lot of sense. Going and hanging out at Vitae when it's basically just the woods right now, they can help us to work and do projects, but it's not super fun. It's not super enjoyable. And if you are somebody who likes normal amenities, bathrooms, shelter, if you're not somebody who's trying to be outdoors, it's going to be very uncomfortable. So that being the case, trying to find a good blend, saying, hey, we don't have, air conditioning out there right now. We don't have refrigeration out there right now. We don't have running water and toilets and things out there right now. But we can make it more like a comfortable campsite, while we're trying to get access to those amenities. We can still do things like make more comfortable footpaths, light it for, in the case people need to be out there at night. Trying to do things that make the area feel more livable, more comfortable to navigate and to use, and to start just developing kind of the mapping and structure of it as well. That's something that I wanted to jump into pretty quickly. We're going to eventually want to start creating diagrams of exactly what's going to be plotted out at Vitae and where it's going to be plotted out, because even though we've just started to use a little bit of the space, it's going to be really nice to see how quickly it starts growing once we have our first dwelling. And so as we start developing it, we're going to want to start surveying the land and seeing, well, what things do we want where, what makes the most sense to have different sections designated for. So real quick, let me jump in. Before we talk about the map and starting to create a map for Vitae and kind of how we want it to be laid out, I want to go ahead and read everybody's comments. First off, Democratic Republic of Appalachia says, hello, Democratic Republic of Appalachia. And Laricia says, Aeternia is an empire. Why? That's a great question. Well, the short and sweet answer of it is, got Tiffany's making history memes out here. I appreciate you. The reason that we are an empire is because we have the philosophy that we are trying to expand and conquer, so to speak. Now, this isn't violent. This isn't in the historical traditional sense of conquering and taking over. We want to essentially have our society, our culture, our way of life that we are developing here in the Empire of Aeternia, that we are looking for advice on how to perfect, if you will. We want to be able to spread that to as many people as possible. We want people to join and be recruited into our ranks and to be able to build up our nation and our community full of people who have wonderful ideas, full of people who are creative and excited about trying to make something new, people who feel upset about the way that their current society is structured or the opportunities that are offered to them by that society. We feel there are so much better options for the vast amount of resources that are on the earth currently and all of the amazing talented people who live here. We believe that there is a better way for things to be run. And so as an empire, what we are trying to do is to be an empire of will, effectively. When we first started out, we didn't have any territory at all. One of the things that people normally think about with empires are, these massive swaths of land and territory that they've taken from their enemies, right? This is not exactly how we started out at all. In fact, as I said, we didn't have any land. The way that the Empire of Aeternia developed was based on the support of individuals. So we said, hey, the way that the Empire of Aeternia has land originally was to declare that anybody who wanted to be a part of the Empire of Aeternia, anyone who became a citizen, your area around you, your personal space, as well as the space that you own and occupy, is a part of Aeternia. If you declare yourself an Aeternian citizen, then the places you occupy, the things that you do, your personal space, are a part of the Empire. That's how we did that for a long time. And so thinking of, all of these hundreds or thousands of people at the time, again, who supported our YouTube channel, as being a part of this empire, all coming together and supporting, that does feel like an empire. That does feel closer to the definition. And then now moving into kind of the strategy that we have more regularly, more currently, we're still in the same mindset. We have just developed new tactics and new methods. We are still an empire in the sense that we are trying to grow and expand our territory, and we are trying to conquer through the heart and minds of the people who want to support us. But that being the case, we are doing so in a way that shows a better life. We are not trying to pillage and violently attack and be the oppressor and take down our enemies. Instead, what we are trying to do is offer a better way of life. We are trying to say, hey, we offer the superior service. We offer the better, safer, more opportunistic alternative. We allow you to chase the things that you want to chase while being supported by a community who has your best interest at heart. And so as we all grow and develop and work together, our empire becomes stronger. We are able to start to plan larger and more complicated tasks and projects. We are able to have more resources at our disposal and ultimately be able to expand not only our landmass, not only our population, but also our influence. And so as we are trying to affect that influence, as we are trying to expand what it is we're doing, that's why we declare ourselves an empire. Again, not an empire in the traditional sense, not the violent oppressor, but almost a modern switching of the term. We are an empire because we are a large group that we are attempting to support through the will of individuals coming together and declaring themselves, despite different borders, despite different cultures, religions, languages even, that we can all come together and be Aeternians. Republic of Silvitica says, do you have any priests in Aeternia? We don't currently have any. Well, no, we don't. We don't currently have any priests in Aeternia. We have one priest who is a friend to the Empire, but they're not specifically a citizen. So no, as of right now, we don't, but not opposed to it at all. Let's see. The Alice Republic of Noblestan says, hello, Silvitica. Hey, awesome. We're making connections in the chat. That's very cool. One thing as well, guys, definitely hop into our Discord at some point if you haven't, because we do a lot of connecting and describing each other's nations like that. Real quick, and Laricia says, what is the Empire of Aeternia's national sport? Mine's soccer and most popular sport. Also tennis, basketball, horse riding, also loved by us. One thing, we were skateboarding. I'm not down there yet. I'm going so slow.
No. I don't need to see my chats at all.
Okay.
Yeah,
we have been skateboarding, which is one big thing.
You have like stuff that comes up.
I'm not sure that's our national sport. We do have a national game though.
That's what I said. Look,
we have an imperial game.
Why is your chat like different?
Because I'm not down there yet.
No, like it's organized different on my phone versus your phone.
Oh, okay. All right, Air thoughts. Are there any links to wish lists like Amazon wish list? What? That would be a nice one for you. There you go. That's a great question. We do not currently have Amazon wish lists. Okay, I need to hit it up. Let me get through a little bit more.
Because they hit you up again for the sport thing.
Got you.
And then I replied in the chat.
Hey, Tiff's helping out.
We don't necessarily have like claimed
a sport. No, but we do have Aaron's game. We have resource. Okay, so look, resource. You gotta get the snap with it. That's a part of it. Resource. Tiff says louder. Resource. Quick ASMR for you guys. Aaron, we do not have any Amazon wish lists. Unfortunately, we just haven't set it up. Wasn't a strategy we thought to use before, but we may well in the future. Right now, again, biggest, best ways to help us. Patreon, of course, if you have the ability. If not, we also have a Ko-Fi page where you can make one-time donations, especially for things like helping create the Garden of Nations.
Or if you want something for your travels, hit up the Etsy.
Hey, that's true. That's true.
You can get something in return.
Yep. Very true. The Ko-Fi and the Etsy both have opportunities for you to purchase items. The Etsy is going to be stuff that you want sent to you. We have a few different options on there. The Ko-Fi page is going to be for projects like the Garden of Nations. So I think it's $35 right now. You can get a flag put in the Garden of Nations, a customized flag. If you send us an image along with purchasing that tier one time, you end up getting to submit us an image of your flag, and we will make an actual small flag and put it in the Garden of Nations. So that in videos when we show off Vitae, and in times when we go to demonstrate and sort of host events out at Vitae, everyone will see your nation's flag flapping in the wind, supporting the Empire and helping us to grow our nation. Excuse me. Thank you, Tiff. I agree, though, Aaron. That would be a great way for people to support the Empire. Thanks, Tiff, for the smile comment. Republica Dipingua says hi. Hello. How are you? Selvitica Selvicia says, does Aeternia have a church building? We do not. And Lauricia says, Selvitica, why are you religious Christian? And Lauricia is not Vatican City. We are Christian, but not that religious. Interesting. People going back and forth in the chat, learning about each other's nations. Tiff said, hello, Silvicia. We do not have a church building. We are trying to get our first dwelling and the garden started. Yeah, Tiff's providing that information. Silvicia says, I was talking about Aeternia, but cool. Yes, this is Tiffany.
No, look,
in the frame tree. Yes, I was talking about Aeternia as well. Sorry, I should have clarified. No problem. Freeing True says, does your micronation have a church building? Hey, Tiff's asking the right questions. And Lauricia says, what is your national sport, Silvicia? Mine's soccer. Going through. We don't really have one at the moment.
Like, the buildings and stuff.
Yeah, that's true. They're saying, I mean, we had these companies, but now that the winter stuff ended, we can start building again. Hey, very cool. What kind of companies do you have?
I asked the same question.
Nice. Hey, there you go. And Tiff said, good luck with construction. And Lauricia says, I also want to know, what is your national sport, Aeternia? Mine's soccer, like tennis, basketball. Yeah, we don't, as of right now, have an official sport. I'm sure Tiff's about to hit it up. Silvicia says, shops, big chains, the Verum Church. Oh, okay, so you do then have a church. Tiff says, I don't think Aeternia has claimed any sports. Emperor AP is mainly focused on developing Vitae for others to enjoy and have somewhere to go to find stability. Agreed. Aaron says, Aeternia in this case turns from a noun to an adjective. The wish lists are free, if I recall, and some potential donors might feel more comfortable with that method than some others. Makes sense. Very true. I suppose I could hit that up. Yeah, there are for sure things that we could put on the wish list. I will do that. That's a great idea.
Can I fix?
Yep.
I have it closer.
Hey, appreciate it. Can you guys hear better?
And making sure it was breathing and was on noise cancel.
Yeah, thank you, too.
No, you're not. I'm gonna continue.
Yeah, I would appreciate it. Okay, so Aaron, yes, Amazon wish list, great idea. There are some things we could use. Aaron says, not speaking for ourselves, but if every citizen counts, then let's spread nets out and make it easier for what we catch to support the efforts of the Empire. Agreed, 100%. Well, and that's one of the things that I think, kind of jumping off of that idea there, Aaron, that's one of the things that we're trying to learn more how to do, and try to find better avenues for is we hope this summer to start pushing further on trying to recruit citizens locally. But regardless, we know that there are plenty of pockets of micronationalism that are showing up around the world. Of course, through our online community, we're able to reach some of you and talk to some of you. But as well, I think it would just be wonderful if through these different micronations, through the different groups that we're working with, we could actually spread out the name of the Empire of Aeternia and try to, host advertising campaigns in other places so that eventually we could have chapters of support in different areas that are all, developing resources and making connections for the Empire. I think that would be super helpful for us. And I also think it would be a cool way for people to get introduced to the micronational communities through that kind of, that type of direct advertisement, I suppose. And Laricia said in 2023, we used to not have a national sport, but then we had soccer because sport is the most popular sport in the world, and we want soccer for tourist attractions. That makes sense. The World Cup brings a lot of tourists to wherever it goes. That being the case, make sure that you have the infrastructure to properly support your festivals and your tourist attractions. But I wish you luck. Aaron says the adjective comment was when you're referring to how the Empire changes when it's confined within one's personal space. Yes, absolutely. Although that being said, I do want to clarify that was, again, the original way that we started to recruit citizens and to develop our territory claims. Now we have since backtracked from that. We are still, of course, supported by our individual citizens. You can be a citizen regardless of whether you live in Vitae, in Aeternia's territory. But because we do now have a capital territory, we do define that singularly as Aeternia. That is a claim that we have that is, completely undisputed as far as our legal right to use it and to develop resources on it. This isn't something that someone, if we're staying there and living there, can come and just kick us off of. We've completely paid for it. As long as we pay taxes on it to the local government here, we can continue to do that. So that's something that's really critical for us developing, I think, a more branded nature and as well a more focused approach to the cultivation of our empire, if you will. When we're looking to seek out others to help us, it's very strange to start with this idea that is so broad and so generalized. It's a lot better to be able to say, hey, if you're curious about what a micronation is and what we can do for you and how we can help you, we actually have a place here, Vitae, that has its own garden, that has its own living quarters that we call dwellings. They have their own, water system, their own sewer system, their own off-grid solar power system. All of these different things that we're trying to develop right now that are in the works, we hope to pitch means to become citizens and maybe even residents in citizens of Aeternia, citizens of the Empire, and maybe even residents in Vitae. So it's, again, I think just a lot more simple, a lot quicker to explain, and a lot more effective as an approach to marketing to explain to people, hey, this is how we define citizenship. And so instead of saying, well, we define it like this, but then really once you get more established with Aeternia, then you kind of understand this larger theory about it. I think it's just simpler to narrow the approach of what citizenship is. That also goes along with our approach of trying to develop increased value for our citizenry. So as the Empire of Aeternia develops, we want the quality of life of all of our citizens to increase along with it. As a citizen of the Empire, you are expected to work as much as you can to better the society that you're a part of. That doesn't mean you have to be grinding at it constantly, but there is a minimum expected of every citizen to participate and to be an actively contributing, supporting member of our society. So the people who have joined first and have put in some of that time already, have kind of paid their dues a little bit, those people are going to get additional support and additional benefits the more that they commit and invest to developing Aeternia. Now, that doesn't mean that somebody who's been a citizen for 10 years but who has never stepped foot in Aeternia will be the same as somebody who has, their full family settled in one of Aeternia's territories. These are kind of different things with different benefits. But for example, our aristocrats are a group of people who have supported our economy really, really deeply. These are the 10 wealthiest people, or top 10 wealthiest places, some of them are tied, in which somebody is famed as being incredibly wealthy, incredibly supportive of our economic development. So that being the case, as we continue to develop and as Vitae starts to flourish more, as we start to have events for our citizens and different ways that we're advertising, we want those people to be able to come and try those things first. As we make new products, as we try to start sending out little test kits to see what works and what doesn't, for trying to establish larger brands for our companies and trying to establish more products to sell. We want people who are close to us and who've provided for us to be the first to try that and to test it. So that all being the case, those are some of the benefits of investing as a citizen. And so when we get larger and larger, and there are more and more people who are residents of Aeternian territories, people who are fully living and committed as Aeternian citizens, those people are going to be incredibly valuable, and their initial investment in us helps us to grow and to expand and to market more. So that all being the case, what it means to be a citizen of Aeternia, I think as time goes on, will become a stricter and stricter definition, as it's, again, providing more and more value to our citizens as we develop. That doesn't mean the goal is to continue to constrict that definition further and further. There will eventually be a point where we say, everybody within this definition is a citizen. But as of right now, we've gone from an incredibly loose definition to a significantly tighter one. So as we keep going on, we will see how that develops and what it means for the Empire.
Also, to shout out the people tonight.
That is true. That is true. Aaron is actively in our chat right now. Thank you so much to Aaron Whichway and the Whichway family for creating this wonderful pendant that I have on. I try to wear it now and incorporate it into my uniform as much as possible. This is, of course, if you don't know, a representation of the Arrow of Progress, which is the Empire of Aeternia's primary symbol. It's our representation on our flag. If you've seen our flag, it's purple and white with a gold arrow of progress in the center. And of course, that goes back to the story of Odysseus and kind of the founding spirit of Aeternia and why we developed Aeternia in the first place. So a lot of history around that symbol. And again, Aaron, thank you so much for honoring us by making these and celebrating our history with us. That being the case, Silvesia said, should we build bridges in Silvesia so that civilians won't have to walk around the little river thing or something? Yes, 100%. That's exactly the kind of idea that we've been thinking about recently. Like I said, trying to start making these little footpaths as I'm, last weekend blindly stumbling around in the dark of Vitae, needing some kind of footpath to find my way, needing some kind of lighting to find my way. That would have been very helpful. I recommend you don't make the same mistakes that we do, Silvesia. I recommend that you do create those footpaths and lead your people to glory. That being the case, Tiff said, I think a small bridge would help. You can also use it as a nice photo op for people who visit. Hey, Tiffany, hitting on good ideas. I might steal that for Eternia. Might just straight up copy it. Absolutely. Tiffany, an engineer by trade, somebody who you definitely want to take advice from on building infrastructure, but as well, somebody who is well versed in Eternia and in economic development and her own personal business development and stuff like that. Tiffany is very savvy with many things. And in that, I completely agree. Yes. If you develop something like that, any kind of nice landmark, like we're going to develop with the Garden of Nations, if you develop a bridge on your territory, if you develop, a really cool statue, or, there's just a special looking tree or something, you can turn that into a monument for your people. You can turn it into a tourist site. You were talking about football. One of the nations, I think it was Anna Lauricia, was talking about, or maybe it was Silvesia, a football stadium, or some place to play soccer. That idea is something that, of course, immediately brings to mind, tourist attraction. But there are a lot simpler things that you can do as well. So she is right on the money there. Aaron says, local farmers markets provide a rich opportunity for community outreach. Absolutely. That's one of the things that we wanted to get into as well. I'm not sure, excuse me, I'm not sure in our local area what things are more in demand than others, but I will have to look into it. I know one of the things that we have been interested in venturing into as we get further and further into living out at Vitae is being able to breed quail. So potentially breeding quail or chickens would allow us some significant benefits as far as going from expanding our vegetable garden, which may end up incorporating mushrooms in it as well, going from that stuff all the way to actually having livestock, which will be an entirely different step. And again, in planning all of this and in doing all of it, we haven't immediately sought out profit. We're trying to do this primarily to be self-sufficient and to reduce costs for ourselves. As far as food is almost a constant in life. You have to have food to survive, and so it's another check mark on the list of showing that we are self-sufficient and being able to provide more to show people that Eternia can do. Hey, if you come to Eternia, we're actively building dwellings that you can use. We actively have a garden that will feed you. Those are things that are super important for that. But there is opportunity, you're right, absolutely, to be able to just meet people, talk to them, explain to them who we are and what we're doing, and as well to market ourselves at the farmers market, to try to figure out what's in demand, to try to see if we can sell any of our goods, if anything that we could start to plant for next year would be valuable and a kind of a hot commodity in the area that maybe most farmers don't like to handle, it doesn't grow well, or there's some difficulties with it. Of course, if other better experienced growers are having difficulty, I'm sure we will too, but just trying to look for those ins to the market will be very helpful. I think you're right. That's a great idea, Aaron. Sylvecia says, we're thinking of using tree trunks. Oh, to make a bridge? That would be very cool. One, because it'd be very big, and two, because you could, depending on how many you lay out, you could make quite a wide bridge. Now, if you did do something like that, again, be very careful. Depending on how large this area is and the stuff you're trying to do, you could potentially try to kind of halfway bury your tree trunks. That way they, if they fully extend across the water, you have a more flat path to cross over the river, the little creek or whatever. But yeah, you'll want to be careful on not injuring yourself or other people. And Lauricia says, also, soccer is important to expand, and presidents visit soccer games in the country too. See, that's amazing. That's another level of outreach right there. It's another opportunity for photos and for, advertising your nation, what it can do. Especially competitive events like that are fantastic for just showing off. If you have your micronation compete against other micronations in soccer, and your micronation kicks every other micronation's butt, that's great advertisement right there. Come to Anlaricia. We are the best micronation at soccer. Aaron says, I can't imagine the Empire would restrict citizenship to proximity of location. Just as you would honor any citizens from nations visiting, their home country would honor you as Aeternian. Oh, absolutely. That would be the idea. We never want to restrict it to specifically people to a geographic area. The thing that would be nice is, instead of restricting down to that, we would like to grow into the opportunity of using that. So instead of having to turn away people who are so far away because they aren't near to a territory of ours, what we would instead like to do is look around the world and say, hey, if we can afford and have the means to acquire a territory, purchase territory through an international corporation or something, to house Aeternian citizens in a specific country, we would love to do that. We would love to find ways to develop infrastructure all over the world that supports Aeternia and that is considered Aeternian property, Aeternian territory. And so as we go further and further, I think you're right, Aaron. We're not going to be restricting citizenship based on location. We will instead be trying to expand to those different locations by saying, hey, previously, no, you're good. It's just in a precarious spot.
Yeah, I didn't
You're good.
hit it.
You're good.
My fault.
Nah, you're fine.
I missed.
So we will have this situation where we can say, hey, we have only been able to offer these amazing benefits to local citizens who are close to Aeternian territories, like, for example, libraries. We are trying to start a tool library out at Vitae at some point, where we'll just have different items that people can use for free and come to check out and return that we will need there anyway for our own purposes. So we might as well make them a benefit to the community. And as we do that, that's nearly impossible to offer to people who are in other states or other countries from the macronation that we are located inside of, because it's just infeasible to, it's not feasible to ship, to try to deal with large scale deliveries and things. So in that way, we would be trying to grow into those opportunities and saying, hey, if you are a citizen of the Empire of Aeternia who lives in Singapore, we've just opened our official Singaporean embassy, so you can come by if you live close enough in Singapore to the location of our first Singaporean industry. This will be the first time that Singaporean Aeternians are able to experience some of the benefits of residents of Aeternian territories. And so that would be a great breakthrough, and kind of one of the ways that we'd like to grow into that. So VC said, yeah, we almost had a stadium, but then the Great Revolution happened, and we've not been rebuilding it ever since. Dang, sorry to hear that. So VC says, anyway, I'm gonna head out. All good, thank you for being here, and thank you for liking the video. It means a lot. It helps us to spread out to other nations. See, we got 9 viewers right now, all on 4 likes. So the more that you guys like the content, the more that it helps us to jump it up and spread it out to more people. It also helps our watch time. Right now, we are not monetized. So trying to get to those 4,000 watch time hours, every minute that you guys are watching, every time you like the video, it helps to push it just a little further, get us that much more watch time. And Laricia says, is there a chance I will have a soccer stadium? There's a chance I'll have a soccer stadium soon. A stadium? So not just like a soccer field, not just a place to play soccer, but a whole stadium. Like, you're gonna have chairs, you're gonna have, like, are you gonna have a concession stand? How crazy is this gonna be? Tiffany brought up, Aaron, the Empire of Aeternia is not restrictive on your location. The hope for the future, though, is to have as many citizens live on Vitae or other places of land we may get. Absolutely. Tiff was 100% spot on there. Sorry if I'm like redoing things that have already been talked about in the comments. Aaron saying, setting up a weather station or visual relay at Vitae that your citizens or community could log into and check out what's going on would be very cool. Agreed. I think part of the reason that we haven't done stuff like that already is, one, because we don't have electricity out there, so it's not our primary focus as far as our resource consumption right now. The second reason is because of security concerns. We haven't published the address of Vitae as of yet. We haven't done a lot of stuff with Vitae simply because we would love to start taking mail there, for example. But we don't want to reveal the location of Vitae simply as it's just an undeveloped piece of property. We don't have proper defenses there yet. So as we're able to monitor Vitae more closely, as we have people who stay there full time and become residents of Vitae, we will start to release more information and allow more to be seen and done at Vitae. Hopefully this year will be our first kind of event, social gathering out at Vitae, but we'll see how it goes. And we will be leading up to stuff like that, Aaron. Arch Dragon says hello. Hey, what's going on? How are you? Aaron says, I figured that's what the case was. It started to sound a bit different, but that was a great clarification. Absolutely. If you're talking about Tiffany's clarification, absolutely. Santa Fe Kai says, Singapore. I'm trying to get support from the Lakota Republic. It's a self-declared country in South Dakota. And then said, okay, well, I have to go. Oh, dang. First off, good to see you, Santa Fe. I hope you get support from the Lakota Republic. I'm excited to see how that goes. The Lakota Republic, is it based upon Native American tribe? The Lakota, I believe, are a Native American tribe, if I remember correctly. I believe somebody's brought this up to us before. It very well could have been you. So thanks for hanging out and teaching us something. I want to know more about that. Next time we're in a live stream, you got to come back and hit us up. Also, I see we have 4 viewers right now, but 5 likes. Somebody went and hit that like button. I appreciate it. It means a lot to helping us grow the channel. And so you guys being here and helping to support that goes a long way, I assure you. The main point for me coming on today was just to tell you guys kind of what we've been up to at Vitae, to talk about the sidelines, the delays effectively that we have had over the past couple weeks in doing what we thought we were going to be able to, but still having surprisingly a nice turnout. It's just to kind of show plans never go exactly how you want them to. The more you plan, of course, the better your plans turn out because there's more that you can adapt to. But that being the case, you can't ever account for everything. And in this case, we just happen to have kind of a luck of the draw moment that has saved us potentially a couple, depending on how these seedlings that we planted out at Vitae turn out, that I'll go check on tomorrow. So again, there's already a little bit of content out. I wish I would have put more content out about, I wish I would have recorded more this last time I went out, but I knew if I didn't get the plot hoed quickly, if I didn't get it tilled properly, if I didn't get it pulled up, that it would not work out for us well, that we would be, dealing with a lot of headaches trying to keep those plants away from a nice sunny area, away from the place that they're actually going to be growing in. Their pots may become overcrowded. So I wanted to get all that done, get that out of the way last weekend. And now this weekend, we have a little more out there. We have everything started. So now we can actually tend to taking care of these plants, starting to upgrade our little plot there, starting to put in protections against pests, against other animals coming and stepping in it, or, having issues like that. Kind of trimming away trees so that, branches and things like that aren't falling onto our plot. Trying to develop, like I said, little pathways, things like that, to be able to carry equipment easier. Again, fixing and improving the setup for our water system out there, our water container, bringing more water out to be stored out there, so that when we do need to start watering these plants, we have ample supply to pull from. And of course, trying to meet our neighbors and start to make connections there. All of that on the goal list right now for Vitae. Some of that we're going to be tackling as soon as tomorrow. I'll be headed out early tomorrow morning to Vitae. Maybe you guys will get a live stream. We'll see. it's tough to plan when you go out there, because anytime I think, oh, okay, well, I want to set up and I want to get a live stream going, we almost always have delays. Either I get out there late, or we end up with some kind of issue that needs everybody's hands on deck. There's something that's been developed out there. There have been a number of times, because of the setup there at Vitae, just being this wooded area, where we've had cars that have crashed at Vitae. And so we've shown up and been like, oh, we're going to do a live stream. And then we see pieces of people's like broken plastic bumper and like part of a headlight and all these different things that have just been smashed, bended, twisted up pieces of metal that are just scattered on the property. And so when we see stuff like that and we jump into action, or when we have a big plan that we're trying to pull off and we jump into action, there's almost no time out there to record. So trying to do a little bit better with mixing that in, especially over this summer, because again, trying to push for finishing the dwelling, at least the structural part of the dwelling, getting a roof over our heads, that we may still not have plumbing, that we may still not have it completely livable, not have beds or furniture or anything like that moved in. We would have a start. We'd effectively have a shed out there and could start to make that shed more and more comfy, cozy. So that being the case, we are moving forward. And I appreciate everybody being here. You guys showing support today, hanging out, means a lot, because it means that we have that many more people who know a little bit about what's going on with us, can tell other people, and we can come back to a video when we have time to edit it, put it together, and go, hey guys, this is what we've been up to. And you guys can help us to dissect what went wrong, what went right, and what we can learn from. So for ourselves, as well as for other nations, if you guys want us to review your nation, we already had one submission for that. I talked about it, I believe, last stream or maybe stream before. And somebody actually sent us a submission to review their nation. So I would love to do that at some point. If we get a few of them, then I'll kind of do, one video that's a rapid succession of, okay, this is honest opinions of this nation and what I would recommend they do to improve. This is honest opinion of this nation and what I recommend they do to improve, and why I see that. So we'll talk about that more in upcoming live streams. If you want to submit to that, reach out to us by email or any other method of contact that you see down below in the description. And we will get moving on that, because I know a lot of people have questions about their nations. And when you submit that kind of stuff, the more detail you give, the better, because it helps us to not have to try and like fill in the gaps or make assumptions before we do those kinds of videos. Let's see. Aaron said, both yours and Empress Tiffany's explanation were concise and helped. I'm glad to hear that. Oh, as well, Aaron, I did want to bring up, in Aeternia, Empress or Emperor is a very specific title. So, for example, I'm the Emperor, but it's kind of like being like the president, so to speak, in the sense that, not that they're elected like a president, but that there is only one. So even though Tiffany is my partner, she's not like an empress. Anybody, male or female, who is the emperor in Aeternia is the emperor. That being the case, it's like a weirdly specific governmental position. And so even though Tiffany is a part of Aeternia, she's not like a government official. She's not somebody who wants to be a government official or is interested in that. But she is an incredible supporter of me and has been an amazing help to Aeternia. That is, not to take credit away from any of the amazing things that she's done. If she hadn't done all of those things, if she hadn't been here over the years, Aeternia would not be near what it is today. That all being said, as per her wishes, to respect her wishes, and not wanting to be a part of Aeternia's government, and also to respect just the formal creation and governmental structure of the empire. There is no empress. It's just the emperor. The next person down from the emperor actually is the overlord, which is something interesting that we have not gotten to bring up or create, because there's a specific point where I want to appoint an overlord, and as of right now, we just haven't hit it. I want to start getting people out of Vitae. I want to start developing a larger financial portfolio for Aeternia. I want to really be able to build up our assets and get our economy rolling. And then I would love to start sitting down and actually appointing somebody who is second in charge of Aeternia, and somebody who is more akin to that position. But that is a long time coming. a long time from now, I should say. But I'm glad our things helped. That being the case, to wrap up everything I just said, basically, Tiffany's position is Tiffany, and that is higher than any emperor, any government official, any grand title that someone could have. Tiffany is amazing as a person in her own right, and I am glad to have her as a friend and an advisor, and just my love, the person that I want to be with. So I don't think she needs the title for it. Let's see. Aaron says, the ability to adapt is paramount, and you've done great with adapting your resources over the years. Thank you. I appreciate it, Aaron. That's been one of the hardest things about developing a micronation, and in particular with developing Vitae. It's just been a larger, expansion on what was the initial starting point of Aeternia. We've never had much to develop Aeternia with. I've never had a lot of money. The money that I did have was always in very short supply, and I needed to keep it for survival. And so any method that I could use to develop Aeternia was almost always a free one. And so for a long time, that's what we did. Eventually, we started making a little bit of money and had to figure out exactly how to tweak that to make things work out to grow. Now, we aren't, an amazing wonder success story. We're not making millions of dollars. We're not even making enough for me to do this as a full-time job. But I would like to, and that's the direction that we're pushing, and hopefully pretty quickly. So as we keep just slowly incrementing and slowly trying to build up and slowly trying to develop, it has all been trying to, make the most of what we can with our resources, trying to shift the way that we do things. And I recommend that to every micronation out there, anybody who's a citizen of any nation, who wants to develop and who wants to do things in a similar fashion that we have. You have to be really, really well thought out with your actions and know what it is that you plan to spend your resources on. What up? Tiff's here.
Yeah, I was making comments. I'm making comments.
Hey, I appreciate you. MK said hi. Hey, what's going on, MK? It's great to see you. Thank you for being here. If you've liked the video, thank you for liking it. If you haven't, what's a good reason for you to like it? I would say to help our empire grow. I would say as well, because Tiffany is super cool and she deserves your like. I would say because you're a cool person, and because as you keep watching this stream, I hope you see that we're trying to do things that assist our people and hopefully assist your goals. So thanks for being here. And Laricia says, I'll probably build one.
My comment.
Ooh. I've seen multiple of your comments.
That one.
This one? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that one was good. I agree. I hit him up with it. I was like, Tiff is right, for sure. And then he commented back on it. I hit you up with the like Empress Tiffany thing, and then I explained like you're not a part of the government thing, and then yeah.
Yeah, we were also just saying like basically the same stuff. I'm like, cool.
We're on track.
We're on the same wavelength.
We're syncing. Agreed. I respect it. I'm glad some of my thoughts turn out like your thoughts. I'm like, hey, we got them. Great minds think alike out here. And Laricia says, I will visit Singapore and also build an embassy in Singapore and build an embassy in the UAE, Pakistan, Kosovo, USA, Ukraine, Palestine, Saudi Arabia. For now, I will build an embassy in Islamabad or Karachi. Wow.
Wait,
an incredible
ambition. Did you go
ambition.
back to where you were?
Oh, yeah, I did. My bad.
You were where MK just said hi.
Yeah, sorry, everybody. I'm jumping around in the comments.
Right here,
Thank you.
The Republic of... And
Laricia. Then also, it adds to their comment. They also said, I'll probably build one in Sargota too. Very cool, incredible ambition. Good luck with that. We have not built an embassy anywhere yet. We've just started developing our capital of Vitae. So good luck. Let us know how it goes, and maybe you can teach us a thing or two about it.
And Brinacia?
Brinacia. I think Brinacia. Let me know if I'm pronouncing it wrong, Brinacia.
But hello back.
Hello, it's good to see you. Thank you for liking the video. Thank you guys for hitting it up and supporting us. Right now we have 11 viewers, which is huge for our watch time, because right now we don't have monetization. But if you guys keep watching the video, keep helping us, we can take over the YouTube algorithm. As micronations, we can hijack it and we can put micronationalism to the top of the, it's not the For You page, the trending page or whatever. We got it. We got it, guys. We could do it. I believe in you. Aaron said, that's a good piece of information. No, thanks for sharing. Of course. Thank you for respecting the wishes. I appreciate it.
MK said, been like 2 years since I've seen you.
It has. It's been a long time. How have you been, MK? How has life been treating you? That is true. I have not seen your name in the comments in quite a while. Also, your thank you. What is the icon that somebody uses called? Profile picture. Your profile picture is different. Hello, Unity. How are you? MK, hit me up. How have you been? What have you been up to? If you want to reach out via email, I would love to see what's up.
MK said that they're subscribed on other accounts since 2021.
Oh, okay. So you have been checking out. I appreciate it. It means a lot. I hope you've been able to catch up with some of what we've been doing. I've been trying to talk a little bit about what we've been doing today. But if you have any questions, let me know. Brinasia says, have you ever visited another country? That's a great question. I have not visited another country outside of the United States. I have been a part of Aeternia since 2016. And I have been, and when Aeternia was founded, and I have been, prior to that, a U.S. citizen. I have only visited the U.S. and Aeternia, so that's.
But we had the chance.
That is true.
I
Still
couldn't
may
make my
have
deadline, but yeah, future.
Potentially, we'll see. I believe in
Future. Make some other conferences that are in the other countries.
Tiffany had a chance to do a conference in Italy, which would have been super cool.
I couldn't make the deadline.
Yeah.
There was no way. It's too much stuff.
But next time, you got it, bud.
Oh yeah, next year.
Kill it.
Hit it up. And they don't usually. They seem to. Next year they're supposed to be in London.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not like moving too far.
No, and still out of the country. Get to visit.
Yeah, no, it's still out of the country. Like
Yeah.
next year's is still gonna be in another country.
And then we'll come back and tell you, Brinasia, you'll know that we've been to another country, especially if you follow our Instagram.
Oh yeah,
We'll
we
hit you
gotta
up.
be like the people who come back doing like, oh, I've been to Italy and now I know all the Italian stuff. I'm gonna just instantly start using Italian for no reason now that I'm back in the US with other English speaking people.
Legitimately.
Be those annoying people.
You gotta be like, this isn't real pizza. You don't know what real pizza's like. Tiff did the hand gesture and everything.
Oh.
You've never had good spaghetti. Hit him with all
same.
Hit him with all the stereotypes.
The
Horrible.
mafia didn't make it. It's not good.
We're gonna get kicked out of the country instantly. We'll be a shame, a disgrace on Aeternia. Okay.
Hey, it's all just jokes. Okay, we're not calling out to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Just talking about being crappy people.
Hypothetical crappiness. Also, Arch Dragon came up with a great nickname. Highly honored Tiffany the Maximus. You could be Tiffany the Radical for your sick skate moves. Tiffany.
They clearly were not that sick.
They were pretty
if I
sick.
got hurt.
Tiffany got injured skating. It was crazy.
Yeah,
but you,
little stitches.
Yeah, but you were so brave. You were so brave, and I'm proud of you.
Oh yeah, well, I told you we could have gone back.
True.
Just let me get my stitches, and we could have gone back.
Tiff was ready. Tiff was ready to jump right back on the horse. Tiffany has been being a pro skater out here. I've been super impressed with her. And we've been having fun. No, legitimately.
Trying is key word.
You have been killing
Trying.
it. You have been killing it. Look, do you mind
also,
if I
hello TRC.
Yeah, what's
Welcome
up?
to the chat.
It's Arjun. It's one of our citizens.
I know.
Yeah. Hey, Arjun.
I've
how
seen
are
them
you?
often.
Yeah.
I don't always recognize their
which
names.
Account is which.
Yeah, I know which accounts are like tied to citizens. Yes.
Yeah. Yep. That's true. Well, this is Arjun. What's up, Arjun? How are you? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for hanging out with us. I'm excited to see the document. Ooh, Arjun says you should check out the document of potential nations we should collaborate with. Agreed. I need to. One of them I've been talking to on Instagram. UAR, I think, USR something. They're pretty cool. Need to learn more about them. We've been messaging back and forth. Um, can you hit me up with like descriptions of them? That's the thing that I've been wanting so bad is like, who's the leader? What's the government like? What's your personal opinion of them? Like,
What's their main goal?
What's their main goal? Yeah, what are like benefits potentially to like allying with them or working with them? What are things that they have that we need, or things that they need that we may have? Just the more thought you can put into each one, the more it'll help. Because then we can start like hitting them with proposals and being like, hey, we found out from one of our great citizens, this is what you guys do. We don't have a ton of experience in that, but we do have experience in this, which may help you to get to this. We can come in with some solid plans.
Wait, Santa Fe Key.
Santa Fe, it used to say Santa Fe Kingdom. I'm not sure if it's still Santa Fe Kingdom and it just got cut off or what, but Ann Laricia's is longer. It looks like it just says Santa Fe Key. Good to see you, Santa Fe. Says hi again.
So what about Parkistopia? You went there.
That is true. I can't say that
You
anymore.
went to a different micronation, but not necessarily
A different
country.
macronation. Correct.
Yeah.
Well, so correct. So we have been to Parkistopia. That is true. You caught me on a technicality. We did 100%. Parkistopia, one of our previous allies, good friends of ours, General Secretary Brizette, one of our first connected to micronations, one of our longest running friends. We did visit them. I should have counted that on my list, and I did. You got me.
Woo!
You legitimately got me.
Wait.
I'm counting it. I'm counting it. I have been to Parkistopia. That is one different country. You are correct. Change.
If you went.
Change in the definitions. Changing my own records in my head. Tiff's now like, hold up. Tiff's like deep in thought.
I'm trying to think about any other micronations
that we visited though. Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't think we visited like.
No, you got to meet a bunch at MicroCon.
That's true.
That doesn't count as visiting them at their place.
One of our citizens did on our behalf. West Arctica in 2022. In 2022, 12,022, I should say, when we went to MicroCon, got there early and got to go to
their house.
Yes. The leader of West Arctica, Grand Duke Travis, ended up going to Grand Duke Travis's personal home and got to enjoy a welcome party there. We ended up being a little bit late on our flight, so we didn't get there until late that night. But they were able to go and enjoy the festivities on our behalf. So Aeternia has visited multiple micronations.
And Geekin.
And Geekin, that's true. And being hype over
meeting all the other
leaders. Yeah, all the other micronations, President Ball of Molossia. I was hyped when I got to meet him. We were hanging out for a quick second there. Stephen, our other citizen, the master of the House of Treasure, hanging out, geeking over, talking about the other micronational leaders who were there. Super cool. I got to meet Sultan Williams of Slojanistan. All of it very, very cool. Let's see. MK said, I'm good. I've been busy. Only got 2 more years of school. Then I'll probably be going to college or not, depending on what will be happening. Makes sense. Enjoy your life. Work hard at whatever you want to do. If you feel that college is the best bet for you, definitely pursue it with all you can. Study hard, work hard, be passionate about what you want to do. Try to make connections with other people in that same major. People who are, doing any kind of like career events while you go to college. All of those things, super duper important to success in that future career, in that field. So good luck, and we will be rooting for you. Ann Laricia says the only countries I've been to are Ann Laricia, USA, Pakistan, Singapore, United Kingdom, Saudi Arabia, and Palestine. Still so many more than I've ever been to. That's incredible.
Hey,
you are
your
very
life
worldly.
is just starting. You have plenty of time to travel.
That is true. We're gonna do a bunch of traveling, and a bunch of building Aeternian civilization. Santa Fe Kingdom said, I've been to USA, Germany, Canada, and Croatia. Everybody's so worldly, man. That's incredible. I'm glad to hear it. MK says, never ever been to Dublin. Never even been to Dublin, which is capital of Ireland, since I live in Ireland, let alone being on a plane. Makes sense. You got to go now, just for the heck of it. You got to find a way to go. Unity says, we're trying e-bikes. Hey, very cool. Is your territory very bike friendly, I suppose? I know there are e-bikes that are like little, you know, like basically pavement riding bikes. You know, they're not like mountain bikes or anything. I'm not sure if I've seen an e-bike mountain bike, but I'm curious to know what type of terrain these bikes will be riding on. How long is their battery life? Are you in an area macro nationally that allows you to get from place to place pretty easily on e-bikes? Are you doing it as just a way to further the well-being of your environment? Let us know. TRC says USAR. My apologies. USAR. I said two different iterations with just two different letters removed from the thing that I should have said originally. USAR. Santa Fe says, one of our best allies is Perusia. TRC says, thank you for putting that in detail. I'll work on it right away. Thank you so much, Arjun. I did want to bring up as well, Arjun is one of our dedicated citizens. Initially, one of the hard things with developing a citizenship in Aeternia is that, as we talked about earlier, Aeternian citizenship used to be anybody who was subscribed to our YouTube channel. Then it became anybody who like fills out this application, and now it has become anybody who anybody who fills out the proper forms and also who can make an economic contribution to the empire. Now that means either as a direct economic contribution through paying taxes on our Patreon, or somebody like Arjun, who is actually helping to lay the groundwork for future things we're doing, actually putting an effort to tackle projects for us, do things on our behalf that we just don't have the time or abilities to do. Arjun is particularly talented, especially when it comes to meeting people and developing friendships, trying to understand groups' interests, you know, actually being a very personable person. And so Arjun has all those wonderful qualities. And for the longest time, it was difficult for me as a leader, as the Emperor of Aeternia, to find how to get people into different positions. Arjun and I in particular have been working together for quite some time to find something that just like stuck right and worked right. And it's tough. I am, all that being said, incredibly thrilled that despite all this, Arjun is somebody who has persevered and who has kept pushing and found a way to find his place in the empire and make valuable contributions. I am lucky for that because I have been, unfortunately, quite busy this semester and over the last 5-6 months. So I've been not able to be as attentive to that as I would have liked to have been. Nevertheless, he came through, he pushed through, he found his own niche in the Aeternian community to develop in. And I'm excited to see it. I think it's, as we keep going to provide a very valuable future in offering more opportunities to you in particular, Arjun. And I am incredibly lucky to see what kind of way that paves for future Aeternians, what we can learn from Arjun's experience, what I can learn as a leader from Arjun's experience, and ultimately how it grows and develops our nation, how it does exactly what it's meant to in empowering people like Arjun, citizens, people who care about this community, to actually make a difference and help to grow it themselves, and to say, hey, that Aeternia is because of me. That great empire is because of me.
You're in the shade and look over at him.
Thank you so much. Do you want some help? Do you want me to come down to help you? Okay. Thank you, too. I appreciate that. Tiffany is now going to get our plants. Like I said earlier today, actually, we were able to stop by a community event here in our neighboring U.S. state of Alabama to pick up some tomato plants and some cucumber plants. So we got 4 tomato plants and 2 cucumber plants that are pretty decently matured. Still small enough that they're, you know, maybe 2/3 of a foot high to a foot high. These are pretty small plants, but they're significantly matured, have quite a few leaves on them, are starting to get quite tall as far as their stalks go. And so now what we're trying to do is go and bring those out to Vitae tomorrow. So right now Tiffany's collecting those up because we tried to let them get as much sunlight as we possibly could to help them out. Tonight we're going to bring them in, have them watered, give them plant food, and then tomorrow early in the morning they're getting thrown out to their primary growing habitat, their new home out at Vitae. So I hope to bring you guys more progress on that tomorrow. Like I said last time, I tried to film, tried to take a few pictures, ended up being in the dark for 90% of the time that I was there, so that was more or less a wash, but I will be bringing future updates in new videos soon. And as well, we have the My Creation Haven grand opening that I still have not covered in a video yet. We've done a few shorts detailing and kind of flirting with it, but long story short, I went to the U.S. state of Mississippi, to the town of Houston, Mississippi, to attend the grand opening of what I think, in my knowledge, is the first opening of a micronational storefront, meaning a storefront that micronational leaders own and control and run as a part of their micronation. My Creation Haven is that for the Carmenates, the people who run the Kingdom of Arcovia out in Mississippi. So that being the case, we attended that last month, and I told them around this time to expect the video to be done, and I just have not been able to edit enough, have not been able to work on it to make it the quality of the thing that it deserves. So that being the case, I hope to bring you that very soon as well. That's a more in-depth piece. That's something I'm really passionate about. So I want to make sure I do that right. May not come out next video, but coming up fairly soon. I need to push through my semester, going through my master's for physics. As I push through that, get through finals, I should hit a little bit of an opening. Then I can throw out some more of those edited videos, and we can keep trucking along. That being the case this summer, I hope to take you guys with me, not only in some of those edited videos when I can take some time out, but also just with these live streams to be able to give you guys regular, consistent updates on what we're doing, help bump our watch time up as much as possible so that we can really try to get into
Can you turn that camera this way?
of course, getting into our monetization numbers. Real quick, let me fix the camera so that I can show you guys Tiff and all of our cool plants. Let's see, let's set it up. Okay, there they are. As you can see, these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total plants. Like I said, you can see one right here and one right here of the cucumber. Oh no, I'm wrong. This is a cucumber right here, and this is a cucumber right here. This one. Yep, the rest of them are all tomatoes. Super cool though. We got these for free again from our local community at an event. They were just giving them out. So this didn't cost us anything, but this will be a significant help to Aeternia's garden, the Garden of Nations, the very first one in our capital of Vitae. This will help feed our people this summer. So hopefully this will be.
Man. Just one tomato plant is going to give us a lot of tomatoes.
Yep, and we are going to have a ton of them. So the garden should be plentiful, and we will be excited. May have to build a cool little trellis or something. Make like a walkway, you know, that we can walk under and have the vines hang over.
I was thinking, since we're talking about walkways.
Yeah.
Ashley was saying that she was getting some more bigger pieces of granite.
Oh yes, she hit us up.
We should use those as like sidewalk stepping stones.
Very cool. I would be down for that.
Like they're not gonna. No one's gonna run over it. Just use it as a starting of a path.
Agree.
And if they're big enough, then we could cut them into squares and make smaller ones
as little stepping stones.
Yeah, as little stepping stones so you can get more distance.
I would appreciate that. Although, if we were going to do that, I think I would do them with the other ones. Our friend Ashley, out of the famous duo Jet and Ashley, who got some awards from our founding day celebration this past year. They, wonderful friends of ours, have given us a number of different pieces of stone. Ashley works for a stone manufacturer or stone cutter who creates countertops and all that sort of stuff. And it's given us some cool pieces of stone. So what I would recommend actually is if we can keep the granite ones, we can use those to replace the countertop in the RV, and then we can use all the sample pieces that we got as stepping stones. Because Ashley was saying that
she was saying there were bigger pieces, but I don't know if when she says bigger, it's like big enough to fit what those countertops are.
She was hitting me up in the chat. Like, we were talking about it a little bit, and she was like, yeah, they're like pretty big. They're like 2 pretty big pieces.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but you don't want to like what's the word? Like when you think that it's gonna be way more than what you expected, you like set your
agreed. I'm not
really
saying
here,
it's gonna be like
she's like, oh no, bad choice of words then, and then it's gonna be like a weird interaction.
No, it's fine. I'm not thinking it's gonna be like massive, but even if it's just like this big, right? Even if it's just like,
I think it'd be bigger than that.
Right.
Because the ones that she's been giving us have been about half that size.
Right. The countertop.
Like same length, different width.
The countertop currently in the RV is only like.
No, I know.
That big.
It's only like 4 feet and like maybe 1.5 feet.
So what we could do is if we get the piece and it's a little smaller than we want, we can just surround it with wood, and then like sand it down, and then
What, like countertop?
It's a countertop with an inlay.
Countertop?
It's like a wooden counter with a stone inlay. You get me? Like when it gets flat, there's like wood on the edges. Fair.
Yeah, I don't know.
But these are the kind of decisions we're having to make to develop Aeternia, to build Vitae, to get our people out there, because right now it's just wilderness and it sucks to be out there at night.
I mean, not to downplay what you said, but I mean also, with all the stuff that we're grabbing and getting, I don't know where else we'd put it.
That is true. We gotta
put it to a reasonable use.
Right.
Otherwise, what are we doing with our space? We're just cluttering it.
Correct. And that is one of the dilemmas that we've had, right? In developing Vitae and moving forward with trying to put more and more out there, we need a lot of resources to be able to repair things and build things and start making plans to know that we have the equipment to do projects. On the flip side, that leads to us overwhelming the amount of space that we have and needing to, as quickly as possible, put things out on Vitae just to get more space and to have more ability to do more. So
yeah, but also if you don't do that on Vitae too, you're gonna crowd your people like very quick.
Fair. You can't just say, and then now it's a mound of stuff. Everybody live around the stuff. Agreed. Then we'll have to become mole people and live underneath the junk, and it'll be like one giant.
There's a lot of ground to cover.
Very true. We will just become the Vitaean dump, and then you can come and you hit a button and like a trash pile opens up and you can drive your car into it. That's how you get there.
Okay, so when people leave the land, they're gonna go tell their friends, "I live in a dump."
Right? Yeah. They'll be like, "It's horrible," but then when you get inside, there's like bowling alleys and shit. Like it's really nice. There's like a personal movie theater. No, but that's a big dilemma we have, is trying to figure out where to put all this stuff, how to get it out there the quickest, and do it in such a way that we don't get all of our stuff like stolen or damaged by falling trees or whatever. And so that's part of the reason
other people get damaged by the falling trees.
Right, or other people get hurt. All of that's
land laws.
Right. All of that is just a laundry list of big problems that we have. I think Aaron is right with an Amazon wish list. That would help us to be able to acquire more materials. But as far as trying to deal with the stuff we have now, building the dwelling, huge part of that. Again, like I said, when we initially build just the structure of the dwelling, we get a roof over our heads finally, that will primarily be just a shed. You know, it doesn't have running water yet. It doesn't have any kind of facilities yet. So initially, it is pretty much just a shed. And so we can store things out there. We'll be able to start locking things up that are more valuable out there and feel good about that. And that way, in the future, we move on and start developing the inside more, building another shed to be used in that way to transport all the extra materials we have and keep developing dwellings like that. So yeah, that's the ultimate goal. It's going to take a while. We're not achieving that tomorrow, but hopefully tomorrow we will be able to go out and actually fill up that 22-gallon barrel basically, and try to have some water out there.
I think it's like a 35.
You think it's a 35? Maybe it's a 35. We have one that's a 55-gallon,
and
then we have
the
another
other
one
was like 30 or 35.
It might be.
They were only like a 20 or a little less than 20-gallon difference.
Yeah, I would agree.
I still think they were pretty big.
I think you're right.
Want me to talk like this?
Yeah, just
be so close.
And then just scream. Please don't. I would blow everybody's eardrums out.
Audio warning?
Right. Immediate flashing warning on the screen. But yeah, that's our big attempt. Right now it's...
Do you see it?
I see the bird hopping between the branches.
Yeah, but he was like so close.
Oh, I didn't see the close one.
Yeah, he was like right there.
Oh, damn.
He was like less than 2 feet from us.
Yeah. But that's a big thing for us. Is right now everything pretty much is focused around the garden nations, and then secondarily the dwelling.
I mean, the garden also is just a time limit.
Right. Yes. Absolutely.
So either harvest them when they need to be, or they all just rot.
Yes.
And then are eaten anyway.
Correct. And that was a big problem we had last year, was that, we just weren't able to go out there enough. And so they didn't even mature enough to get close to harvest. So trying to repair that this year and trying to get a successful harvest.
I think you're pretty far. Comments.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure I'm super behind on comments. Sorry, everybody. Let me hop in. Also, thank you guys for liking the video. 8 viewers, 7 likes. Y'all are killing it. You want me to keep it like this?
Right in the hairline. Check it out.
Right in the hairline. Yep. Get in my hairline. Got him. Tiff said, if I go bald, use this video to make fun of me. Let me, everybody's putting hearts.
I didn't say make fun of you.
Do it though.
No. I meant that it's like, so you can go back and be like, remember when I had this nice...
Oh, as like a sentimental memory. Tiffany's like, this will be, when you lose your hair, this will be how you remember the golden years, the good years. Oh goodness. Okay, so real quick, let me jump back into the comments. Hit everybody up. Again, thank you guys for liking.
Your golden year is only
a few more years away. Yeah, it's getting close. MK says, I've seen like 3 Irish micronations on YouTube and TikTok 15 minutes away from me. It's pretty interesting. That's pretty cool. Do you think there's a particular reason why Ireland has a larger influx of micronations, or do you think the UK in general has a lot of micronations? Let us know. As well, this is kind of something interesting. I wonder, because the US has a lot of micronations too. There are, of course, like microcon events, stuff like that. But I wonder if there are ways that we can pull people together more. Tiff has a comment.
Sorry. Remember my picture?
No. Oh, are you going to show it?
My parents were like, it looks like a catfish.
It does look like a cat.
And then my mind was like, no, it looks like the mouth of a stingray. Yeah, like so hard.
Yes.
Sorry, we're talking about my injury. I had a huge gash. I took a picture of it because it looked funny.
I was gonna say, I don't know if you could show that on YouTube.
No. You'd have to put like a full warning.
Blur and stuff. Yeah.
It's a pretty gross.
Pretty graphic. Yeah,
pretty graphic. Just of a gash in someone.
Yeah.
It's like pretty deep.
Oh goodness. Santa Fe said, we've declared a nearby sinkhole as a national park. Very cool. Again, great tourist attraction. Trying to figure out how to bring people together. It's pretty difficult. With tourist attractions would help. MK said going to set up a whole farm. Legitimately, right now we have 30, I believe it's 31 plants. We have at least 30 plants.
He's on your dad's car. Did you see the bird?
Oh, I just watched him. Yeah, very cool.
Well, he was straight up on the top.
Yeah,
I don't know
I
how
didn't
you
notice
missed
it.
him.
Yeah, I just did. I don't know. I sure did though.
Sorry.
Until he
Stop
moved. I didn't see
derailing.
it.
The
No.
comments are gonna derail you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna derail you. You're
Let
never
me
gonna
jump-
get to do a
let me-
live stream
let
with
me-
just what you want to talk about.
Ah.
If I just keep talking, you can't talk. That's how the comments go.
Tiffany, the derailer of live streams. That's the new lore name. It's like a Dark Souls boss.
Notoriously hard.
Notoriously hard. Just a full-on gangster. Notoriously hard. MK says, going set up a whole farm. There's like 30 plants out there right now, 31, I believe. With these added 6 that are quite mature, we will be at 37 plants if my counting was correct.
Wait, it was 32 that you took out.
It was 32 that we took out? Okay, then potentially
What?
38. Between 37 and 38 plants are going to be out there to come tomorrow. It'll be an exciting day for Vitae. We'll bring out enough stuff to water them and keep them good. We just watered them not too long ago. So these plants here, and then, like I said, the plants that are out at Vitae have been getting several days of rain back to back. This will be one of the first days that they don't get rain. So hopefully they've been able to soak up some sunshine, get dried off a little bit, and are kind of bouncing back. They're not too shocked, hopefully. And we will be developing the garden. So hopefully we will be having a nice harvest this year. We're going to keep you guys updated because last year we thought we were going to go full force and get a harvest, but we didn't. So this year we will keep you guys updated. The Witchery sent something out. I'm excited to see what the Witchery has to say. Super cool. I hope you guys brew us up something amazing in that cauldron of yours. But you retracted your message, so you have to resend it because we missed it. Your magic made it disappear. MK said, make a compost bin, then use that soil from the compost to help plants grow. I agree. That's a great piece of advice there. We have a ton of just foliage from it being this little forest that's fallen for years and years and years and just built up out there. So I would love to, when we get a chance, build a compost bin. We have some additional wood, but right now we're saving that for developing the dwelling. That is, of course, our most crucial goal right now. But as we keep going throughout the summer, hopefully we will be able to build a compost bin. Then we'll be able to throw all of that gross old foliage in there, start throwing a little bit of small food scraps and stuff in as we get the pile large enough and it starts creating bacteria properly and being the right environment for composting. Santa Fe said I have to go. Great to see you, Santa Fe. Thank you for being here again. You jumped in, you jumped out, you jumped back in. Thanks for trying to keep up with us throughout your day. It means a lot. And Aeternia forever. If you like the video, it means a lot as well. So thanks. Republic of Anna Lauricia says, is the live stream over? We're still in here. If you can see us, let us know. We're winding down for sure, but we're still here. MK says, I'm related to a clan of over 300 years ago that owned most of Ireland. We have our own crest, and everyone with the same second name are related to the clan. They even have different crest types. Say it's the same for Irish micronations, as some people are related to Irish clans hundreds of years ago. Very cool. So you think that those micronations in Ireland specifically try to focus on like a clan history to base their claims or at very least their culture. If that's the case, that's super cool. I don't think there are as many micronations here in the U.S. that do that, although I'm sure there are some. In fact, I've heard of groups developing as clans and stuff. We've had a number of run-ins with groups that have developed in more of a clan fashion or have described themselves as clans. Pretty interesting. I'm curious to see how it goes for you in seeing the development of those nations and those different clans. Have you thought about, which ones would be most closely related to your ancestor? are you interested in joining those other nations and having your clan become a part of theirs? Or, you know, how do you feel like that'll influence your decisions in the future? MK says, yeah, another base it off their own family's history. Makes sense. Okay, cool deal. So would you ever like unite those micronations that to try and, as your ancestor did, bring together like so much of Ireland? It sounds like a cool tactic for growth and development, especially in the UK. I think if you showed really strong support there in Ireland and had like a good coalition of Irish micronations, maybe you would start to spill over into other parts of the UK and get support. It'd be cool to see. Um, hmm. Hmm. There was one last thing that I wanted to hit you guys with. We talked about, I didn't talk enough about the map. So one of the things that I hope to do in addition to the laundry list of items that I just described, as if that's not enough, right? I want to do one more thing. I really desperately want to build a map for Vitae. This is something that we've done a little bit with the map for micronations that we have on our website. We have a map, if you haven't seen it yet, that depicts all of the micronations who have currently applied and that we have finished reviewing their applications and have posted them on our site. So there's a Google map that you can check out on our site, links in the description, where you can go and check out all of the different micronations we have established on there. It gives you a little bit of information about them, who their leader is, contact information, stuff like that. The thing that we want to expand to now is to try to do something with Vitae. But as we don't want to dox where Vitae is, as we're still developing it and want to ensure that we have people there more regularly before we start taking visitors, we want to still be able to show you all visually what we're doing on Vitae, so that even if it's not just pictures and video of us walking around touring these different spaces, but just the ideas that we hope to project and to show you guys development as we move along, I want to have some kind of drawing, some kind of digital map of Vitae that is something nice that people can view on the website, that has depictions of, you know, our dwelling that's being built and our garden that's being developed. The Garden of Nations has where our driveway is, as we keep building and pushing for more things out there, that those features start to come up on this map. And that way, anytime somebody checks in on the map, they may see a new little feature added before it's been talked about in a video or something. And then it's kind of like, oh, the map changed. What happened? Oh, we like introduced this new thing, or oh, there's like a coming soon little like thing. I think it would be a great way for interaction with the projects that are ongoing at Vitae. It would help people who are interested in investing and interested in actually helping out to develop some of the stuff we're doing, to see their efforts be put to good use, and to see exactly how that's going. So that being the case, I'm excited to see where the development of Vitae goes. I'm excited to see the future of our micronation. It's not something that has come easy. It's not something that we have had a straight and narrow path to, but it's something that we are continuously trying to push on many fronts. And I would recommend, as the leader of Aeternia, someone who has been in micronationalism for quite some time now, relatively speaking, and two people who I see who are doing similar things to me, who are trying to pursue things as Aeternia has. One, you can't do it alone. Micronationalism is something that you can do. I'll clarify. You can technically do it alone. It is not going to help you reach your goals very easily. Work together, collaborate, try to join each other's nations, try to become a part of the same collective community, same collective organization. That way you can build your strength and you can achieve more. In Aeternia, we have found luck in alliances and friends and citizens who have been amazing and wonderful and who have put in their time and effort to make Aeternia what it is. And I recommend that you try your best to surround yourself with good people. That way, you know that your personal efforts as an individual developing your nation can be put in the places they're needed most. Again, that's what we're doing right now. That's how we're trying to develop Vitae, our capital, and start to show the world what we have to offer. But until then, we're having to do the same thing we've been doing for years, which is put our nose to the grindstone, appreciate our friends who help us any way they can, and celebrate each and every little small victory we get. We have a few questions. Republic of Anne Lauricia says, can Anne Lauricia have an embassy in Vitae? I don't see why not. I would say that's something that we'd have to talk about at greater length. If you could reach out to us again at the email address below, aeternianempire@gmail.com, we could talk about that more officially. We haven't set up an official process to have embassies in different places. If you're able to supply funding for that, I suppose it's possible. Just let us know and we will keep in touch. Again, reach out, aeternianempire@gmail.com, links in the description, or the actual address is in the description. MK says, I'm probably going to get into social media coding and create games and creating games and politics. That's wonderful. I would definitely recommend it. Coding is something that learning a programming language is something that will be deeply enriching for you and will have lots of utility throughout your life, especially because many programming languages have similar bases. And so if you learn one type of programming language, it can help you in learning many more. As well, strategies for coding, ways to learn new languages, things like that all come with experience in any language. So the more that you learn one programming language, the easier it'll be for you to learn any other programming language you ever want to learn. And Google's just super helpful. I have a friend who, Jet, in fact, is professionally a programmer. He is a software engineer officially, and is always talks about how easy it is to find the answers to what you're looking for on Google. So treat it as your friend. Treat it as an additional educational tool. Also, AI stuff out there is very helpful now. Things like ChatGPT. Real quick, Anne Lauricia says, if we have an embassy in Aeternia, then you can have an embassy in Lausanne or Chester. Chester is a beautiful city beach, so it'd be cool to have an embassy by a beach. Agreed. And I think for our development purposes, we would be talking about establishing a physical embassy, and that would require discussion of funding. So you'd have to reach out to us for us to discuss it more seriously. MK says, I've always been interested in micronations. I even created one years ago, but I gave up. Well, if you'd like the opportunity to be a part of a micronation without the headache of trying to start one from scratch, the Empire of Aeternia would love to have you amongst its ranks. Again, right now, the two ways to become a citizen are either directly through our Patreon, in which case you can sit on your butt. You pay your taxes, you support us through Patreon at as low as $1 a month. It helps us to do more at Vitae, and that's all you got to worry about. On the flip side, if you say, I'm not really sure about the Patreon, or I want to do more, I want to get into a government position, this and that, you can move forward by trying to, Tiffany's trying to point out, oh, bird.
Bunny.
Right
there.
Oh, I see it. Red cars. Yeah, that's the one that I was trying to point out to you earlier.
He seems pretty big.
He is. That being the case, the other way that you can support us is just by reaching out and saying, hey, these are my skills, these are my abilities, this is what I can do. And if you're interested in any of that, please definitely reach out to us. We are looking for dedicated citizens, and we're looking to put people into government positions. Again, I want to reward people who help us to develop and to help us to grow. And this is a crucial time for our growth, as we can start to achieve a lot of success in short order if we can get monetized, if we can develop our social media platforms a little bit more, if we can get Vitae a little bit better funded and pushed out there. There's a lot of different fronts we're working on right now. Advertising, trying to get things out there, trying to make contacts with other businesses. If you think you have any talent in any area almost whatsoever, we probably need it. So definitely hit us up. That goes to you, MK, and anyone else out there who's interested in Aeternian citizenship. Pine River says, hello. Hey, Pine River, it's good to see you. How have you been? Thank you for liking the video if you're enjoying what you're watching and you decide to like. That means a lot.
You have 10 likes.
We have 10 viewers right
Sorry,
now,
10
which is super
viewers.
cool. Yeah, I think the like, oh, now 9 and
9.
9. Yeah, so we got 9 likes. Thank you guys for hitting it up. It means a lot. See, you get like so many more viewers when the likes are high. People really jump in.
The bunny's still there.
Tiffany is so hype about this bunny.
It's
She's
so
hype about a bunny
cute.
rabbit. It is. I was trying to show
He
you
looks
that one
like the
earlier.
one when the 6th year of the creation of the Empire. We took a picture of a bunny
We
at
did.
the end of the video. We like didn't show it in the video, but we just actively, when we got done filming in
Had
that
seen the
field, there
bunny,
was a
yeah.
bunny.
Yeah.
And we took pictures of it, and that's usually the same size as that bunny.
What a symbol.
Oh.
Yeah, for prosperity. We got the bunny back. First off, let's see. Republic of Dostikistan. Great to see you. I believe we've seen you a few times, but it looks like you may have a new flag. Congratulations, and I hope you've been doing well. They said, hello, I've been really interested in the logistics / organization of micronational summits, such as MicroCon, and I'm considering going through the process of applying to host a MicroCon event. WordMax, good luck. I wish you the best. As of this year, I believe Sankratosia is holding it, which is super exciting. Sankratosia and Princess Chloe, somebody who we visited at MicroCon 12,022, which was incredible. So if you end up going this year, making friends and applying to host a MicroCon, I would love to see you at one of the events, maybe the one that you host. Let's see. MK says, I'm pretty good at social media creation, like making good thumbnails and learning how to edit better. That's perfect. We definitely need that, especially because, thank you, Tiff. A lot of what we've been doing is,
It was a hard goal.
it was a hard goal. You guys are going to hear that one. Sorry about that. We are actively trying to expand our social media by creating more shorts. So shorts have been a great way to get people kind of interested in the channel and seeing what we're doing, just getting to as many eyes as possible, and has led to a decent amount of uptick in our subscriber base. So the more that we can get stuff like CapCut, which is really simple to use if you haven't used it, if you download it on your phone, creating stuff like that, little clips of videos that we do here on live streams, or little pieces of video that we send you, throwing those together, editing them in CapCut, and sending us back a cool little, clip of something helps a ton for growing our social media. That would be plenty worthwhile to do and would earn you citizenship easily. But that being the case, please reach out to us if you're interested at eternianempire@gmail.com. And I would love to send you the citizenship application and all the works to get you to be the newest contributor to our grand empire and welcome you to your new home. Let's see. Republic of Dostikistan says, continuing the last message, in the future, 2027 to 2029, in Houston, Texas, and possibly even in Glasgow, Scotland, in partnership with another micronation similarly to Ladonia working with Flandrensis in 2023. In 12,023. That's awesome. I wish you luck with it. Oh, also 10 likes, 8 viewers. Thank you guys for hitting up the likes. It means a lot. And for just hanging out with us and helping us to build our watch time hours. Official government of Pine River says, you remember me? My old comment was a long time ago. I do remember you, Pine River. I have seen, again, your account a few times on some of our live streams. I believe you've also commented maybe once or twice on an edited video that we did, but it's great to see you. I hope you're doing well, and I'm excited to learn more about your nation. As well, guys, a lot of the time, if you hit up the Discord channel, it helps us a ton. The Discord server, links in the description as well. It helps us a ton to get to know you and your nation. It's just another platform for us to connect on. Dostikistan says, last message, from your time at MicroCon 12,022, could I ask what you liked or disliked about the event? Sorry for such a wordy chain of messages. You're good. I will keep it short and sweet. If you want to reach out via email, we could talk about it more at length. Things that I liked, obviously meeting all the wonderful micronations who were there, getting to see their projects, getting to learn a little bit more about their culture. They did a they did a medals ceremony where different nations gave each other different medals, and that was really cool. They had a wonderful dinner. All of that pageantry, all of the the fanciness that comes with MicroCon, and all these leaders of all these nations around the world coming together under one roof for one night. It's very luxurious. It's very fun. It makes you feel very proud of your nation and what you're doing. Um, when I went to MicroCon, my issue, and I think our envoy, our representatives from the Empire, I think Tiffany, myself, and Stephen, Master Stephen of the House of Treasure, all went, and I think we prepared a little too much for business. When we went, I really had this plan, and everybody was kind of in on it, that we would, we were going there to present our best foot and seek alliances, seek trade partnerships, seek development, and try to gain resources from that. And unfortunately, though we got made some good contacts, which was ultimately very important, we ended up not doing a lot of the business that we thought we would at the meeting itself. We figured that people were coming with, like there were going to be these kind of separated off sections of different micronations that are trying to make plans and coordinate with each other, and we didn't see a ton of that. Again, I think that's kind of my fault. That may not be the best place for that, and trying to wedge that into that type of ceremonial function may not be the best use of time at an event like that. So I understand why it's not designed that way. That being the case, though, I wish I had seen more of it. I think that's kind of what I was preparing for, and I'm curious to know if there are other micronations who similarly arrived to MicroCon excited to see this like deeper world to micronations, and to see, not just kind of presentations on what everybody's doing, but actually to develop practical plans with the people who are doing those things, and put that in place. Again, I think a combination of my disappointment there, or what I felt I didn't like as much, is a combination of my own misunderstanding of micronation, my own lack of preparedness for going in and being ready to propose things to other micronations, while at the same time expecting something that it just wasn't the case. So those are my criticisms and enjoyments of MicroCon, but I would say I'm curious to see what happens as a result. Everybody's doing a whole bunch of hearts. Let me hit this up. Hold up. Tiffany's pointing to me, so I gotta read these comments. Pine River said, or should I say us? How does one acquire a MicroCon invitation? You can just purchase tickets. It's like
An event.
it's an event, yeah, that you can. It's a commercial event. They make money off of the event. Pine River says, word was hiding, my bad. Oh, you're good. And Lauricia says, does Eternia have an amusement park? We have a Disneyland and a Universal Studios in Chester and Lausanne. Very cool. Super impressive. We do not. Vitae. So the Empire of Aeternia right now only has one territory, and it is our capital territory of Vitae. Just purchased not too long ago, close to 2 years ago now. And it does not have any kind of amusement park. We are trying to start building our first tourist attractions, not necessarily like carnival rides or anything like that, but more so just our Garden of Nations, our dwelling, places where people live and work, the cultural aspects of our nation. Let's see. MK says, you would probably need good titles and a good thumbnail to attract viewers while making the videos fast and interesting. And hashtags also help attract people. I completely agree, MK. I think that's all good advice, and I would love to see how you incorporate that. Again, we're going to try our best to incorporate some of that advice, but if you have the knowledge, if you have the insight, and you want to be a part of the Empire, definitely email us so that we can get a little bit closer in on what makes that work. Pine River said, I think I did. Yeah. MK said, I love to help. Hey, I appreciate it. Definitely hit us up in our email, eternianempire@gmail.com. Again, the way that you write it out is in the description, and I would love to see you become a part of the Empire. And Lauricia says, can you end the stream now? What? Why?
What NK is up?
I have to go do some. MK says bro's impatient, and Laricia says MK, I have to go do some micronation work. Hey, I appreciate you wanting to hang on for the full duration of the stream. If you can't stay for the full duration of the stream, I completely understand it. But that being the case, if you do want to hang on, I'm going to go through the rest of these comments, talk for a couple more minutes, and it has been 2 hours, so I'll probably call it soon. But thank you everybody for being here. Let me finish reading these. Well, let's hang out for a little bit longer. Let's enjoy our time as a gathering of micronations for the evening, and then call it quits to do all of our inter-micronational work. Inter-micronational work, I should say. MK said, damn, okay. Pine River said, oh, okay. That's much more simple than I thought. Makes sense. Pine River says, it's too bad my micronation didn't exist in 12,022 or whenever the microcon in Toronto was, as we are in southern Ontario. That this year or was that last year? So there was a microcon that was held by Sancrotosia. I'm not sure if it's the one that's coming up or if it was a one that was previous, but that's I think the current one, if not one that has already just passed. Check it out. Look up the microcon website and tell me which one it is. Cause
are they asking like to go to the same one as you, or just?
That's a great question.
Because the way it's worded, it kind of comes off like, when are you guys going again? And I'll go to the same one.
Gotcha. Maybe I am misinterpreting. So I think you're probably right too. To clarify, the one in Toronto, sure.
When do you usually do these? I would like to come next time.
Yeah. The one in Toronto for Sancrotosia, I believe, is this year. So check that out. As far as when we go, that is a great question. We went to the one in 12,022. We have not gone to the one in 12,023. We probably won't make the one in 12,024, but we will see. The biggest dilemma that we currently have with that is our funding. Again, a lot of our time and effort right now is going to developing our capital of Vitae. Once we get that more underway and we start prepping for our first residence there at Vitae and actually have place for people to live and higher standards of quality for people's living situation there, we'll be able to start doing things like investing in microcon. Yeah.
So when you look at a moment, can you give me some of the jerky we got?
Sure.
So snack on that for a little bit?
I would appreciate that. And then, yeah, I'll come in just a second to start. Thank you, too. I need to head out to make dinner for everybody. So that's what I'm going to do in just a second. I know it's getting late for everybody, but I appreciate you guys hanging out. First off, Emperor Victor Von Doom, I do want to bring you up. I see you in there. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. One of our great allies, in fact, our only current ally in the Draconian Empire. Great to see you all, as always. The Von Doom family, always welcome in Aeternia and, of course, in these live streams. And I want to go ahead and read everybody's comments right here at the end and then do my sign off. And Laricia says, and Laricia has territory disputes with Limeronia. Good luck, and I hope it comes to a swift resolution, not revolution. I hope it doesn't come to revolution. I hope it comes to a swift and peaceful resolution. Pine River says, it's the one that Inian went to. Oh, interesting. What's Inian? My apologies. I'm confused. Aaron said, hey, greetings, Von Doom. Very cool. Making connections. Glad everybody's getting to see each other a little bit in the comments and make a connection. MK said, yes, revolution. No, don't do it, MK. You're starting problems. You're starting international conflicts on this live stream. Don't do it to them. They need peace. These are small nations. One person goes down, it ruins their whole economy. Don't do this to them. Government of Pine River says not exactly normal. Oh, very cool. That one, there's one I believe in Toronto this year though. We'll have to see. I'll look it up later and probably won't mention it. But we'll see. Maybe I'll hit it up next live stream. Until then, I will see you all soon. Emperor Von Doom, I'm going to probably send you a text message tonight. Just I hope you guys are doing well, and I want to check in. That all being said, I'm excited to talk to you. Aaron, if you haven't gotten my last message, I'm excited to talk to you whenever you're available and plan new things for the future and for the summer. Till then, Aeternia forever, everybody. Have a good night.